might be doing right now. They'll hear it from both speakers.
Mono?
Well, I mean, it's not like we got stereo, if you think about it. We're just talking into one freaking mic.
5.1 Dolby Digital?
Not one mic.
I like Quadrophenia. Excellent album.
That was Rush, wasn't it?
The Who?
Oh, The Who, was it? Yeah, whatever.
There's no whatever there.
You shut your mirth. Live streaming, okay.
What are we streaming?
Streaming. Ghost.
Streaming live?
I bet ghosts can travel through cables and wires and all kind of electrical.
Oh, that's
Episode
fucking
6,
interesting, man.
Part 1.
There was
Well,
a
that's just
movie
like
about that, though. Wasn't there like
opinion,
a... It's like a ghost that could travel through electricity?
Hey, Sim's already on. Hey, what's up, Sim? One of our,
Oh, Simcore.
yeah. Okay, hold on. I got
Is that your Crowley horns?
I liked it. It sounded good. Looked good.
Talking ghosts.
Yeah, so, ghosts. Are you scared?
I think I used to be scared of ghosts when I was little. Have you ever been worried about them?
Yeah, actually, yeah, I have been, man.
I don't
Ghosts
know.
have freaked me out a few times.
Well, I don't know if it was ghosts, but Pet Cemetery scared the hell out of me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that one was gnarly, yeah.
Was that ghost?
That little kid was like a zombie. I
Yeah.
don't think it counts as a ghost.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
He didn't have the ghost. That was his problem, wasn't it?
Gosh, that was a weird movie.
Oh,
I want
what's
to
his
play.
Jack Nicklaus when he's out in that hotel, it's
The
freezing.
Shining, yeah.
Yeah.
Them two little girls.
Those is ghosts.
That was a weird one. Those was ghosts. Them was some ghosts there. About like Patrick Swayze learning how to move the penny with that angry bald man.
Oh, whenever he kissed Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, he did. Oh, but it was supposed to be Demi Moore, but
Yeah,
it was.
it was Demi Moore.
Yeah.
Or no, Demi Moore kissed Whoopi Goldberg.
Demi Moore. That's right. Gosh, how do we forget that? Demi Moore did kiss Whoopi Goldberg, but it was supposed to be Swayze.
Patrick, yeah.
They were both thinking about Patrick Swayze was the deal. That's how they got him to do it.
Is Whoopi a lesbian?
I don't know.
I don't think she's ever had a man that I know of.
Has she ever had a boyfriend?
That's important to Google that.
I don't know.
Whoopi Goldberg, she was married to Ted Danson.
What?
Dude, oh, yeah, you're right. That is right.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, oh, shit.
What a
No,
couple.
That's right. As soon as you said that, I remembered. Yeah, you're right.
Did Whoopi Goldberg ever remind you of the Predator?
Yes. I think Ted Danson should have married Kirstie Alley.
Yeah. Fun fact, me and Kirstie Alley, same birthday.
Kersey.
Really?
Kirstie Alley.
Same birthday. Nice.
Woody Harrelson was my favorite back then.
Woody Harrelson's a great actor. He's very exceptional.
I watched White Man Can't Jump the other day.
That's it. I love that movie.
He's not the best actor in the world when you watch that movie.
No, he does a great job, I think.
I think Wesley Snipes does a good job.
Wesley Snipes is a good
Because
actor.
I watched Demolition Man the other day, too.
I'm not so big on that one.
What's not to be big
Hello,
on?
back to Scotland. Hey, it's one of our people that emailed this week is on the chat now.
Oh, I
it's the
read it.
gal that likes you.
Interesting
It's
story.
not like that.
Yeah, you see the smile? He got red.
I'm red because it's hot here.
Yeah,
Shut your mouth.
I'm fine. Are
It's
you
a little,
red?
It's a little warm.
Are you red? I'm
sweating.
not red. Yeah, I bet you are.
All right, let's see. Working on hashtags.
Get the hashtags out. The people are waiting. We got like 6 viewers, man. 2. Oh.
You could probably just look.
I'll be on in a minute.
It's
I haven't put
important.
the the YouTube links out. That's what I'm working on getting set up.
Oh,
here.
we got to get the YouTube links out. Sharing is caring.
I wish I had something to do with the internet.
I mean, you've used it before, right?
A couple times. I learned how to knit on the internet.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
I do a lot on the internet.
I don't.
I like the internet. The internet's cool.
Once in a while, I'll look up something. That's about as far as I go. I check Facebook about 4 times a day.
Facebook's interesting.
Not really anymore. It's the same regurgitated stuff over and over.
Yeah, but memes are funny.
Yeah, there's a good laugh there.
Yeah.
Well, that's just probably because of the way I've filtered my Facebooking. You know.
Right.
It only just shows me funny stuff.
I like the funny pages. Dank memes melt steel beams.
Those guys are outrageous. Sometimes.
That's a good one, though. That's a very good page.
I just like the name.
Mm-hmm.
My son says dank all the time.
Really? Is he 13?
Yeah.
I seen a picture of him on Facebook with a gal the other day. I was like, cool.
He's a bit of a social butterfly.
Okay.
Really?
Wait, what does that mean?
I don't know. He plays football. It's got to be something to that.
He likes it. He broke his finger twice, I think.
Sweet.
He broke his wrist last
Chicks dig that stuff.
year. Oh, yeah.
It's like I got a broken finger. They're like,
you remember when you were
really?
in grade school and the kid showed up with a cast on his arm and everybody's like, oh.
they're almost envious of a broken arm. It's like,
I wish I had a broken arm.
man, that broken arm's so cool. I'm going home tonight,
Look how many
and I'm
Sega
falling right
chairs
out of
I
a
got.
fucking tree.
I've never broke a bone. I don't know if I'm just cautious or
Yeah,
what.
I don't know. I don't think I have either. I don't know. I had my nose broke.
That ain't a bone, no.
Right, I had cartilage, but it hurt.
I think I had my ear broke one time.
Oh,
I think it's still got
fucking
a knot
get
on it.
punched in the ear.
Oh, God, that hurts so bad.
Terrible.
At
That's
least you don't get Mike Tyson, you know.
Oh, that's the worst. Can you imagine getting hit in the ear by
or
Mike
just
Tyson?
losing a chunk of your ear in any reason. That would just suck so bad. having
Oh,
big-
yeah, I got a cousin that got a bar fight and got part of his ear chopped off, chomped off. The guy bit it off. Got Mike Tyson. That's a true story.
Oh yeah, but this is the stuff people love before the show, huh? I guess.
Right. I mean,
Oh, I forgot.
They
You
love to
see
hear
him,
about
it-
people getting their ears bit off.
you see him, it kind of looks like a gargoyle almost because it's like,
Hey Bob,
you know, all
a
haggard and
reverse cut.
shit. Yeah. I mean, it's cool. It's gnarly. It's like, whoa, that's like a battle scar, you know, but
It's not. You know what's not cool? Owen Wilson's nose.
oh, God. I think that's part of his appeal. You know what I mean? That's why
That's
people
what-
like him.
The only
'cause
reason he's got a
such
job.
big
yeah,
honking ass nose.
It looked like it'd been broke 3-4 times.
Oh, yeah, dude. There's a lump in the middle the size of like a grapefruit.
My dad had a giant big nose, and then he went and had surgery, and they cut it all the way down to like a little princess nose.
Really? Cool.
He's been off work for a couple weeks. I was so gross, covered in oozing.
Did it hurt? I wonder if it hurt him.
I'm sure they knocked him out. Well, his nose was so big it was closing up, and he couldn't breathe through it.
Oh, fuck.
They called it rosacea.
rosacea.
Rosacea, there you go.
Yeah, one of the things I like to do on Reddit is get on R popping, and that's a real common thing that people that get almost like a layer of like
Oh, when they,
pimple stuff with the skin growing over it. It's like just a giant pimple over their nose, and they burn it off with like a loop, like a really hot electric loop.
yeah, that's what he just had to.
Yep.
He used to just squeeze his nose and so much white pimple juice, whatever.
Oh, man, that's rough.
Yeah, it's gross.
Oh, I don't get that shit. I don't know what.
I
it
wonder
is.
if ghosts get that.
You probably get it from syphilis or something.
Maybe, man.
I have no idea.
I mean,
What would make you think that? Like
the
off bat?
Tuskegee experiments.
I don't know. I just always heard when you go down on a girl with syphilis, you get funky shit on your face.
Is that true?
I don't know. I don't know what syphilis looks like. I know it messes up your brain later, but I don't know.
I think
early
I think you can die from it eventually if
yeah.
untreated, right?
What makes you go insane and crazy? Then your
Oh,
brain
you go
goes-
insane from it? Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
That's gonna be one of the worst ones.
I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna post this on Twitter, and we'll get ready to do the show if you guys are about ready.
We are ready. We have been ready. We're talking about noses and I mean,
We're talking about ghosts.
ghost noses.
Or we will be.
You know what you don't see
Mm.
is a ghost in a sheet, but you don't ever see a nose poking out there. You just see the two holes for the eyes. So-
You know, I was just thinking of along ghosts, the phantom limbs. You got a ghost
oh yeah,
arm.
dude, that's gnarly. I got a guy. There's a guy that I work with that doesn't have a finger. You worked with him too.
Yeah.
And like I read this thing on the internet that if he puts his hand down like right by a mirror, he'll be able to like move it.
He'll be able to move what?
Well, like okay, because he said like the last thing he feels is pressure, so he always feels pressure because the nerves were used to pressure whenever his finger got chopped off.
Right.
So like he feels constant pressure. So they said like if you put a mirror next to it or something and then like move this finger, it's supposed to make you think like you're moving
And let's
that
find
one.
out how this
Oh,
story
yeah,
ends
I've seen
after the
that.
break.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I've seen that before, but I didn't know about his.
It's all like mental. It's supposed to help you mentally get over it. Like
Right, and then your muscles will relax finally when they see
Mhm.
it relax in the mirror. 'Cause
something like that.
it looks like it was moving.
All right,
Trick your brain.
You guys
Mhm,
ready?
Trick your brain. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, what's up, Everett?
Let's do it. You guys ready?
I
Sure.
am ready.
Here
Here we go.
How's my hair?
Your hair looks beautiful.
This podcast is brought to you by lineupmedia.fm.
Oh,
Sweet.
side part.
That was a UFO beaming back at you. No, they've been coming here ever since 1946. and they have been living and working among us in vast quantities ever since. The government knows all about them. These leaders have decided to repress this information because of the tremendous shock that it would cause to our antiquarians.
This podcast is brought to you by lineupmedia.fm.
You're listening to Surreal Talk, a look inside the world of cults, conspiracies, and the paranormal. Brought to you by lineupmedia.fm.
Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. Punks are running wild in the street. There's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it.
The whole truth about JFK, 9/11, Area 51, the Illuminati, the moon landings, Jesus and Magdalene, the CIA, KGB, and AIDS, the reptilian elite, Watergate, the New World Order, Bilderberg, the MK Ultra Project, the history of the world and the oppression of the human consciousness, and the truth about God, the devil, heaven, hell, and the delicate fabric of the universe.
You gotta say, I am as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
Now your hosts, Eric and Everett.
How are you guys doing this week? We are back. Surreal Talk, a lineup media.fm production brought to you this week and every week by audible.com. Go to our website, surrealtalkpodcast.com, find the banner for Audible, and create your own 30-day account and 30-day trial account and get a free audiobook download.
Sure about that? Is that how it goes?
I haven't done one in such a long time.
And we're not allowed to try it ourselves because that would skew our numbers.
Really?
Think about it,
Can I
man.
just get one?
Maybe. I'm not going to tell.
On the low?
I'm not going to tell.
All right, cool. And if you're looking to do some shopping on Amazon, visit our website and click the Amazon banner because any purchases you make during your incredible shopping session are going to directly support this show. So we are back this week, you guys, with a very interesting episode.
Ghosts, sir.
Ghosts. We are back with Alex. Alex is back with
Quite
us.
a spooky topic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've been scared all week just knowing that we were going to do this. I mean,
I've always had a fear of ghosts when
I've
I
been
was
jumpy
young.
all day since I started doing all my research this morning, getting heavier into my research. I've been kind of jumpy.
I've been taking Imodium AD for
It's been that bad?
days. Yeah,
The
I've been
Bee Gees.
on edge. Yeah,
Bubble guts, real bad.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's that bad, but I was walking through the halls here earlier.
Looking behind me and stuff.
Armand, one of the guys that works here in the studio, comes around the corner out of this completely dark room and just scares the shit right out of me.
Well, why don't you show the audience what was on the board when we came in today?
Let's see if I can throw it up here. So, if you
Yeah.
can see that, one of the other producers happened to just leave a little note for us on the board. Red Rom, so he's in the spirit.
Oh, yeah.
I think ghosts only come out of darkness. If there's the light, like all day, it's been bright and beautiful, not scared one
I think
time.
you got that confused with vampires.
No, I mean, I've never seen a ghost during
Ghosts
the
don't
day.
go in the sun.
Well, maybe they do, maybe they don't.
Vampires go in the sun. They just turn sparkly,
Oh, maybe-
according to those movies.
Maybe you just can't
Twilight.
see ghosts when they're in the sun.
What kind? Okay, well, let's get going here. I want to keep us on point and get going.
What types of ghosts?
That's the first thing
you
we
mean
got
to
on our
tell
list
me
today.
that there's different types of ghosts?
You cornball bastard. He loves doing that.
There's
I
only
di-
two types in my mind, good and bad.
Good and bad. I mean,
I was thinking
that's
more
a very
along the
fair
lines of
classification.
A spirit or a ghost or a poltergeist.
A poltergeist. Well, why don't I let you know what I know about poltergeists?
What do you know about poltergeists?
Poltergeists are a violent and even deadly spirit or apparition. Poltergeists are,
Bad ghosts.
yeah, no, and they're not a human spirit, and that was something that was.
That's one of the differences there.
That's one of the. They're not an actual human spirit. Yeah, they have telekinetic abilities.
So then, in the movie Poltergeist, and I got to interrupt. That was about Cain and his whole group of people that like a religious following. They wanted Carol Ann to take him to the other side. Those are supposedly human spirits, man.
Well, my research disagrees with that movie, so I mean, I'm
Fair
not
enough.
going to say
Eat it, Spielberg.
Yeah, eat it, Spielberg.
I think that was a Spielberg movie.
He's not the
anyway.
definitive voice on
Yeah.
Poltergeist.
Who said Steven Spielberg
Just
was
on
right on
Jaws.
everything?
Just on Sharks
Yeah, he know well.
And Close
I think
Encounters.
He got that all wrong.
If he was on
also.
Sharks, he'd be on Shark Week. I'm just
and
saying.
Indiana Jones, but whatever.
Well, he's got a lot of ghost movies, doesn't he?
Well, that's not really ghost movies, so to speak. Any which way.
Another type would be a revenant. You guys ever heard of a revenant? And I'm
Course,
not
of
talking
course.
about
Leo
the Halo
fighting a
Reach
bear?
vehicle.
Oh,
Leo fighting the bear. That was a great movie.
The Revenant, yeah. So a Revenant is a rare ghost, and the thing with these is really weird is that they do not know or actually believe that they're dead.
So kind of like Bruce Willis.
Yeah, in The Sixth Sense, yeah, he would have been considered a Revenant, and they're naturally solid. So these are not the types of ghosts that can pass through the wall or something like that. You know what I'm saying? These are like a naturally solid ghost.
So they can come up like did you ever see?
Well, I believe the proper term was a continuous manifestation.
I got you.
So
they never dissipate or disappear.
According to this,
like a lot of other ghosts.
So they have full awareness. They can actually hold conversations. You know how some ghosts are like only stuck in the moment. You know what I'm saying? Like you've heard of that type of deal. So these ones actually have full awareness, and they can be hurt by silver. That was something that I found pretty interesting.
Wow.
Silver,
Werewolfish.
silver will hurt a Revenant.
Well, silver is pretty common in hurting mythical creatures. Like vampires supposedly have a weakness to silver. Zombies,
Werewolf, silver bullets.
Obviously, werewolves. I mean, that's like Mac Daddy of it.
I wonder if these different kinds of ghosts come in like a really weak ghost is like a level 1 ghost, and then one that can control.
If you go like how the Ghostbusters classified it, like a level 3 free floating apparition.
Oh yeah, I guess they all would have their own.
Remember Slimer?
Well, yeah. How do you forget it?
Slimer was great.
He was the ghost. I mean.
What about specters? Have you guys ever heard of a specter?
Yeah, specters, from what I understand, they generally hang around graveyards, but that's just one thing I heard.
Well, what I found out about specters were that they were the type of ghost that holds a grudge over a terrible betrayal that they had in their life. So, like, they were betrayed by the person that killed them. That was their last feeling before they died, was extreme betrayal. That's enough to hold them in this
I
realm.
do this every time, but just like the movie Ghost with Patrick Swayze, he was killed by his buddy's plans, and it kept him, held him back.
Exactly. That would be a specter. And here's an interesting bit of information. They can be seen in a mirror. Specters. That was something and that was 2 different websites told me that about specters, that they can be seen in the mirror. So I mean,
isn't there?
There's got to be some sort of coordination.
Maybe a specter's a disembodied vampire. That's why vampires can't see their.
Well, a specter.
Oh, they're opposites.
What they do.
Whenever I think of a specter, I see like a shadow cloak with maybe a face in it, a skeleton face.
Oh yeah, like with chains and stuff. But they're actually considered vengeful spirits, is what they're, and they possess other people also.
Generally, they got a reason to hang around, and it ain't a happy one. So.
They sound a lot like a wraith, also.
Kind of. Well, when they give their host super strength. When they possess a host, they give their host super strength and a lot of durability. Which is something like if you get punched, it feels like a tickle when you're under this sort of possession from a specter.
Right.
And the hosts also give off a green ectoplasm. I know everyone's thinking ectoplasm. That's the green goo that comes off of a possessed or. Pretty much anything paranormal.
It wasn't green in Ghostbusters. It was pink, wasn't it?
Well, that was the ooze.
Yeah, well, the second one is a free.
Is that ectoplasm?
Right, but in theory,
the one they're
it could
cussing
be any
at
color.
in the jar, right?
I wasn't even under the assumption it was actually a gelatinous material at all. I thought maybe it could just be ethereal or.
Well, they jumped in the river of slime.
Well, yeah, on Ghostbusters, but ectoplasm in general, I just didn't know it was a snot-like.
Well, it's got to be a physical substance. It can't be ethereal. Then you can't.
All right, we'll take it to Wiki.
It couldn't be a gas. It could
ectoplasm, meaning outside, and plasma, something formed or molded. So ectoplasm is said to be to be formed by the physical mediums when in a trance state. The material is excreted as a gauze-like substance from orifices on the medium's body, and spiritual entities are said to drape this substance over their non-physical body, enabling them to interact in the physical and real universe. Okay, so this seems like they need ectoplasm to be here.
Well, it's like a side effect. It's like I've heard of like psychic powers having a tendency to manifest in like an ectoplasm too. Have you ever heard of that? Like when there's such a psionic like power, like somebody's communicating with the dead and whatnot. They say there's ectoplasm is a side effect.
It sounds like the material used to communicate between the 2 realms or dimensions.
I don't know.
Almost like a catalyst for the communication.
I think of it like whenever 2 things meet, like like water and flour create paste or whatever. The spirit realm and the real realm meet and create ectoplasm. It's kind of like the side effect of the budding up of the 2 worlds.
That's a very nice way to describe it. But do you remember the movie The Haunting in Connecticut? Isn't that what that came out of that girl's mouth? Like whenever she was
I never saw it.
Oh man, there was a gnarly ectoplasm moment in that movie where she just like puked it up into the air. It was really cool. Really cool.
I never watched it.
But yeah, ectoplasm. I mean, that's something we've all heard of ever back from Ghostbusters or whatever.
Ecto 1 on his license plate.
Yeah, that was on the license plate of the. What was the name of that?
It was Ecto 1. That's what the name of it was.
Is that the name of it?
Yeah. It was an old Cadillac ambulance.
A ambulance, huh?
Yep, ambulance. What other kind of ghosts you got, sir?
Well, I had all those, but I didn't have a real extensive list. I just had a couple: the specters, the revenants, the poltergeists. Your regular Halloween ghost with the sheets. Now, what kind of ghosts do you guys have? You guys ever heard of anything else other than what I've mentioned?
Animal ghosts. You ever heard of animal ghosts?
I know there's like skeletal ghost dragons and things like that.
That's like video games and shit, and
all kinds of ancient cultures, I'm sure. Yeah.
Sure, like animal manifestations of old pets is something people talk about too. Like you've had your family pet or cat or dog die, and sometimes you'll get the smell of them. Sometimes you'll smell you can understand. Your dog gets a smell around the house, but sometimes you'll hear like a ghost whimper or a ghost bark, or even catch a glimpse of them. That's very similar to what you'll hear about whenever you lose a family member too.
Yeah, like Grandpa sat in his rocking chair in the corner for 40 years, and then after he passes away,
rocking, you might see him.
You might see the chair
his
moving.
radio for whatever came on or something like that.
Oh yeah, like the ghosts that you never see, but just the evidence of them.
Mm-hmm.
Right, like a rocking chair in
that's
a room.
Probably
that's
a
rocking.
level 1 ghost, real weak one.
We're gonna by the end of this couple of episodes, we're gonna hash out a ghost ranking.
Yeah, we're gonna get a ranking system.
If it kills Alex or not. Let's see what else. Non-human manifestations.
What about shadow people, though? You guys ever heard of shadow people?
Those are cool.
Yeah,
they only show up in photos generally, though, right?
Yeah. They're just like a figure or a shadow being, or kind of like a black mass.
A lot of people say it's just bullshit photography or just the way the shadows look. But if you look and see some of the forms of what it looks like,
it's just a figurine of like a human, a black shadow.
Okay, let me paint a little scenario for you. Family's at the park, 5 to 10 people or whatever. They got their little pose going, and somebody takes the camera. You're looking at it later on, and you notice in the forest, just slightly behind them, 20, 30 feet, a black shadowy figure with maybe some glowy little eyes.
And there are tons and tons of those videos and pictures of just things exactly like that.
And again, like I say all the time, a lot of them probably are just somebody in Photoshop or whatever getting cool. But
there's a few on there that are pretty intriguing.
And even if like 0.001% of them are an actual shadow people, there's too many shadow people out there for my taste.
I like the really old
That's
photos.
way too many.
When you see a really old photo of a shadow person, it seems like it'd be a lot harder to doct or something like that.
Oh, dude, you remember 3 Men and a Baby?
Yeah, I remember that.
That kid that got killed on set, and then when they
I heard that
filmed,
was BS, though.
Well, I mean, you heard that, but do you know?
Well, I wasn't there.
See, that's
I
what
don't
I'm
have
saying.
a direct line to Whoopi or Ted Danson. I mean,
well, Ted Danson was in the movie.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We're talking
Whoopi's got a direct line to both of them.
The kid? Oh, good point. She was a medium in that movie. So, angels and demons is another type of ghost. They aren't necessarily, they're not from humans.
I'm not so much on board with this one as I am with the other ones.
Why? Just because of the religious part of
just because the religious aspect. I don't relate ghosts so much as with religion. If you can change my mind, I'm with it. Let's sway me, but I don't relate ghosts with religion.
More or less attempts to explain the supernatural and everyday things you see. Like, there's no proof of any of that, right? Like, there's no proof of God. There's no proof that a lot of stuff in the Old Testament is anything more than words on a page.
Well, I mean, we don't want to alienate our listeners.
Well, it is what it is. But what I'm saying is the point of it is there's generally a reason you start coming up with these stories to explain happenings.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you have to. You don't know why thunder, why there's lightning. So you have to say, oh, God did that.
Right.
So it's the same thing with ghosts. You don't know why this is happening.
And that's why you can't get rid of the religious part, because just because they attributed it to a god, they saw an angel, what we would think is maybe a ghost, they attributed it to God. So it's, in my opinion, it's completely valid.
I know some cultures.
It's an accounting of a non-human entity of a spirit realm.
Well, even on the other hand, on the religious part, some cultures keep the skulls of their dead ones so they can have the ghosts of their ancestors with them whenever they need them.
Right.
There's actually a culture in Africa that digs their ancestors up and parties with them. They have like a 2-day, they tote them around on a thing, and they party with, and that's because their spirit's supposed to come out and help them out.
Unlike the Day of the Dead, also, and I believe Mexico, Dia de los Muertos, they always celebrate all their ghost ancestors with them.
That's a big deal to the your Hispanic cultures.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, you never heard of Day of the Dead? It's pretty famous.
I believe Aztecs and Mayans used to keep all the skulls underneath their temples. Big old
skulls are real big in the
skulls.
Aztec and Mayan cultures, man. Like, you remember anything you see of Mayans, there's always the crystal skulls that come up, and
yeah. That has a lot to do with ghosts, though.
That might be a conduit for ghosts.
Ghost aliens.
That's how their religion is.
I think mediums are interesting, though. You know, like people that actually claim to talk to ghosts or can.
That was the next thing I wanted to talk about. Well, could we go back to the angels thing? You don't really put much stock in angels, but what about demons?
I mean, it's just the other side of the coin. I mean,
So
it's the same
I
thing.
mean, a demon's more or less a poltergeist, but it's not like human based.
Well, right. I don't like the name of that you're putting on a demon. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what it is. I mean, because the entity, poltergeist, it's violent and even deadly. So, I mean, I get how you're associating it with a demon because it's
more or
evil
less
and
the same
bad,
thing.
right? I just don't like, I don't know, and I'm jaded. I just don't like the whole religious aspect
To me,
of
the
it.
demon, just the word alone brings up like not a non-human type evil. It's an animal or a creature.
When you say demon, it steers me away from the ghost aspect of it. You know what I mean? Demon.
I think it's,
my mind separates demons.
I think
from
they come from the
ghosts.
same spot. You know what I
Right,
mean?
that's what I'm saying. I don't think my mind associates demons
I totally
with
do,
ghosts.
because you can be haunted by a ghost or a demon, in my opinion. Demons
Possessed
can
by 'em.
possess you.
Demonic possession. Okay, I mean, fair enough, right?
You don't agree? I mean, really?
No, I'll get a whole bag of sea salt and just put it in my pockets so that nobody can get me. You know, because salt repels ghosts.
Well, that's what they
that's
say.
one of the big things that these people do that have big.
Seance
What do they do?
and things?
Yeah, seances and stuff. They line big circles or draw the pentagrams in salt, and that's supposed to
Create a
drive the
barrier.
spirit away, or however you want to say that.
Yeah, they put salt across their door frames and that to keep
Well,
them out.
in Lost, they did a similar thing with the volcanic ash.
Yeah, the
remember?
ash. You had to keep the smoke monster out. That was
Which
crazy.
he was more or less a spirit. So, I mean, that counts in my book.
There's been a lot of accounts of angels. You know, all the time you'll hear people talking. They see angels.
Yeah, like
come
every
down to
time
help.
you even hear when people die. That's one of the things they talk about. I was visited by the angels of my brother and sister right by the bed. Ghost angels, whatever you want to call them. People are in the most Christian religions or even other similar religions. Whenever you die, you ascend to become an angel.
I think angel is another word for a helpful spirit or a ghost.
Well,
Maybe
there's
An
guardian
angel
angel.
could be, guardian angel. That would be a nice
good talk.
ghost.
Right. I mean, arose by any other name.
there's tons of stories of people who would have died if it weren't for being saved by their angel or
Sure, there is.
friendly
yeah.
ghost, Casper or whatever.
Casper, there you go.
By
The
their
friendly
Casper.
ghost.
That's funny.
He saved that girl 3 or 4 times, I'll bet.
Didn't
So,
he?
what about orbs? You guys ever hear of orbs? Of course, you've heard about orbs.
Light orbs, yeah, and cameras and all kinds.
Sure. So normally, if you're not familiar with orbs, Google it. I mean, you're going to get the gamut. But whenever you go on haunted tours, take your camera and just take random shots off into the darkness or past people. Don't worry about what your subject is. You're looking to see what comes up after the picture. And what generally will manifest are small little bright globule objects, orbs.
Circular.
Yeah, little white globes or orbs that show up in your pictures. Those are
And
supposedly
those are
spirits.
from haunted. Oh, that's how the spirit manifested themselves in the picture.
That's just another manifestation. We don't really know exactly what the orbs are. There's no way to know.
And a lot of times you can tell it's dust particles floating. There's a whole bunch of them. They're
Could
all
be, but
uniform.
why do
Some
you see
of
these
them-
orbs in certain places more than others? You know what I mean?
That seems to be true. Probably because of all the terrible lighting. But this
Well,
seems
my wife and I, we went on a couple of haunted tours, a few years back through Alton, Illinois. It's supposedly one of the most haunted cities in America.
Right.
It doesn't show up on any of your popular lists, but you get to look and you'll see Alton on there a lot because we had the Confederate cemetery in the World War, good Lord,
Civil War.
the Civil War, the Confederate cemetery. A lot of people died there, and there's supposedly a lot of the ghosts of the Confederate soldiers were there because a lot of the limestone they used to build that prison was shipped all around Alton to build foundations for, like, the newspaper, the Telegraph has its foundation is built out of the limestone from the Confederate cemetery. If you drive around
Really?
Alton, you can't help but notice just tons and tons of old limestone rocks.
Have you ever seen all the bricks on all the brick streets in Alton?
Sure.
Those were carved by a lot of slaves back, 200 years ago
Sure, I know
for
about
the
that.
city.
Yeah.
And that leads to a lot of unhappy spirits, I'm sure.
What do you guys think about demonic possession?
Like the movie The Exorcist.
Yeah,
per se.
exactly.
Well, there's a real famous case that took place in St. Louis. They made the movie and the book, The Exorcism of Emily Rose, based on the story.
Yes,
But
that was St. Louis.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the one that was based in St. Louis.
Man, I watched. That was about. It came out like 10 years ago. or something.
There's been a few different movies made on. There was a real famous Exorcist that took place Possession plus Exorcist that took place in St. Louis. But long story short,
I mean, everybody's seen the. Everybody knows and what an exorcism is. You're possessed by a ghost.
or demon.
Or demon.
And if you look in the movie and the book for that, how could you discount the religious practice of demons? Because that demon was moved out by the power of Christ compels you.
The power of Christ compels.
That is a
you.
direct, link to
That, like,
Christianity.
wore
right
him
there,
out.
so-
A lot of times you'll see guys in like federal penitentiaries or institutions,
Repossessed.
and they feel like they're possessed because they were just normal and fine. Then they went crazy and murdered and ate somebody or whatever.
Well, prisons are one of the most places you'll hear that they're haunted the most because of all the people that died, especially the people that are mentally
tortured
deranged already.
souls in there.
Yeah, tortured souls. That's a very great way to come up with.
Alcatraz, for one. If you ever take the tour at Alcatraz, people all the time.
I've heard that's haunted, yeah.
I've taken the Alcatraz tour. I didn't see anything there. I spent most of
No
my time
ghosts?
on the outside. I didn't see any ghosts.
No ghosts?
Saw plenty of cells. I took the quick tour, but they let you roam around on the island. So if you ever get out in San Francisco and take the ferry out to Alcatraz, it's only about a 10-minute ferry ride.
A little off topic, quick. You guys think the 2 guys got away or no?
3.
3? Was it 3? Shit.
Was
You
it
guys think they got away?
Alcatraz?
The Rock?
Maybe. Clint Eastwood, yeah. Whenever the Escape from Alcatraz, it was Morris and 2 other guys,
Yeah,
the
but
brothers.
do you think they survived?
I don't know. Probably.
It's a rough one.
Doesn't matter.
Maybe those are the ghosts in Alcatraz. The guys that actually tried to get away.
Now you're reaching.
Hey, I mean, that's what
I
the show
think
is.
terrible tortured soul treatment anywhere somebody's getting abuse like that, they're going to end up as a spirit.
For
Well,
those
I mean, yeah,
insane
and that's-
asylums. I mean, those places.
And that's the premise for like a poltergeist is that, you know, or not a poltergeist, excuse me, a specter is that they've held a grudge or they've been done wrong, tortured, you know.
Or in like ancient Indian burial grounds, and there's always ghosts there that are cursing whoever moves in or the house.
Yeah,
or the property.
Indians have a high spiritual. There's a lot of stories
Yeah,
about,
they got
you know.
spirit animals. Those
Yeah.
are like ghosts for them too.
Sure, and like the Sioux Indians and Crazy Horse, they believe that the world that we exist in was more or less the illusion, in the ghost realm. The dream world was the real thing.
The spirit world.
Right.
You're in the spirit world, you idiot.
We're in the spirit world, Chavez.
That was a great movie. Young Guns, if you haven't seen that.
He's riding on the horse backwards.
Backwards.
Well,
Spirit world.
And a lot of cultures believe when you die like that, enter your spirit world, you become the animal or you're a spirit of a new creature. And
Who's to say they're wrong? I mean,
when you get reincarnated, you're either a person or a tree. Or
reincarnation, that's from like your Hindu cultures and whatnot.
Buddhist.
That's interesting.
Buddhist,
I mean, reincarnation's a pretty crazy topic.
like
You know what
ghosts
I mean?
that last forever and just
Yeah,
keep
I want to do a show eventually on the afterlife, just to see, you know, people talk about some stories of people who have died and what they saw or what they didn't see.
Here's something. So, like, say you are being haunted.
Sure.
So you've got a guy that's, you know, he has a grudge, you know, and you got to figure out how to help this ghost release and let go. To get him to quit haunting you,
You're
you got
gonna
to
take that
help.
responsibility on.
Wait,
I mean, dude, if it's that bad of a haunting.
You got 3 actions. You can't just help him, destroy him, or capture him. That's your options.
How do you do any of those?
Well, you got to find the intent
No,
of the
I think you could do
spirit.
option number 4, move away.
Oh, you can't run. You know ghosts follow you. And
Sometimes.
once they latch on.
Depending, like if like we'll get to this in some of the
They like
pop
the
culture
taste.
part of the episode we do later. But like the movie Paranormal Activity, the main character in that, and they were just trying to show that type of ghost, but it was a demon that followed her from childhood all through her life.
See, I
It was
wasn't
always
into
there.
those movies very much, the paranormal
Dude,
activities.
Watch them.
Final Destination.
They're found footage type
They
movies,
hunted them the whole time.
which I hate that whole trope. But they're found footage like Blair Witch. You know, they
Yeah.
found the camera afterward and they put
Right,
it all together and
right.
made a movie out of it.
I love
Obviously,
that
it was
stuff.
fictional,
Uh-huh.
but boy, it was put together well. I thought the first one at least.
I heard they're extremely frightening.
Yeah, so
And it didn't cost but a nickel to make that whole movie.
probably not.
Low production value.
The actors were nobody, and they used somebody's house and probably filmed it over a weekend. But whatever.
Right.
So what? It was good. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, according
okay. What
to you.
about phantoms?
Phantoms, huh?
They
So-
seem like they don't really do anything or interact with the realm at all.
One of the websites I found to describe phantoms, a good way to think about it, like when you're on the highway and you pick up the hitchhiker, the mysterious hitchhiker, and you have your conversation and they just disappear before your eyes.
Oh,
or
like
whatever.
Pee Wee?
Yeah, like Large Marge saying you.
Yeah, like a figment of your imagination.
Almost. Or, you know, it could have been a phantom. So,
That's terrifying.
dude, I tell you what.
I guess phantoms aren't inherently evil or good.
Not
Yeah, I couldn't
necessarily.
find a one way or the other on that on phantoms.
No, I think they're more like an apparition or just something.
I mean, they're all potato. You know what I mean?
Something elusive or visionary with no substantial existence.
so like a mist or a wind.
Yeah,
Oh,
a
you see
mist.
those,
That's
like
that's
a
crazy.
ghost fog that comes in and just turns everything into ghosts.
See, that's my ghost story.
What? A ghost fog?
So I don't know if I've told you this story before. It was
Not
the
me.
time me and April saw what I can only describe as the void.
The void.
It was like a black void.
The black abyss.
I can't believe I never
of
told you this.
nothingness.
Hey, oh, you've mentioned this on air before.
On the show?
On air before.
Have
Yeah.
you not heard it, Alex?
I don't think so.
Okay, the quick
Was it
version.
gravimetrical vortex?
Something. It wasn't. There was no gravity.
Void stare?
You shut your mouth. Anyway, so me and April were driving home one night, me and my wife. We're driving through the soccer roads by the local college, and out of nowhere, we're going about 40 miles an hour down the road, this wisp of what I can only describe as a void of nothing comes and just kind of stops in front of our car. We both see it. This isn't like I'm.
Are you still traveling at like your same rate of speed?
Yeah. Well,
or did you stop in the middle of the road?
We're pretty much stopping, slowing down. It kind of hovers there for a minute and then off the side.
Now, did you feel any sense of urgency to this? Like, were you scared? What,
I mean, April were both like, "What did we just
relay your
feelings?"
Really
scared because the whole.
What was the time elapse?
I'm saying the whole incident was 3 to 4 seconds.
That's it?
Yeah, I mean, and then it kind of hangs there for a second and it's gone.
I mean, did
enough
you feel
time
like
for us to get a look at it, notice it like there was no light at all. It was like a void of light, a void of anything,
sucking in all hope and despair in the universe.
Laugh it up, fuckers! But I'm telling you, we saw it. Both of us saw the same thing. That to this day is my best ghost or paranormal story of something I'll never be able to explain.
Did you feel like when you guys saw that, you said it was only 3 or 4 seconds, but did you feel like when you guys saw that there was a sense of urgency, like you felt in your stomach, like the pit of your gut, like this is not right, this is wrong?
Dude, well, I
mean,
felt that because
I want to know your emotions as you're seeing this. What are you feeling?
It was when I was a little bit younger.
Did you pee a little bit?
Did you pee a little bit?
I was at the height of my skepticism, card-carrying atheist asshole. You know how you are when you're a little younger. Thought I knew everything, and out comes this void of nothing, and it really turned me around.
Proved you wrong.
No way in science in which I put all of my faith into, strangely, and I've since changed that. But I couldn't explain it. I still to this day can't explain it. So there's my open mind. There's where my open mind comes from.
Wow.
Is that happening?
Is that you saw
I saw something that
a mini black hole above your car.
Saw the devil.
The way it hovered like that, it sounds so dumb, but it almost seemed like it was observing us for just a second, like, look at that. Okay, now I'm out of here.
So this even could have been extraterrestrial.
I don't know what it was. I didn't get any kind of feeling whatsoever.
Wow, I feel jealous I haven't had some sort of ghost story like that. I'm pissed.
It was the craziest thing. And that was supposed to go on the part 3 we're going to talk about.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's being sincere about this. This is real. I mean, because you can tell when I'm making fun of him, he's getting pissed. So that means he's telling the truth about this.
It totally happened. I would not make something like this up. It's not my deal. I don't care if people believe me, or I'm not the type of guy to tell you a story about what I did last Tuesday. But this happened. It was a real thing, and it forever changed the way I look at things that I thought I knew. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I could see how something like that would change your mind.
From that point on, I was no longer an atheist, so to speak, because how could I be sure?
Theist?
No, I'm no theist at all. I'm nothing other than curious about what is out there. I can't. Well, I'll never know.
You sound like you're a wisp of a dark void. All on your own.
That could be.
You're just curious about what's out there, but you're nothing.
Well, I'm curious, and I know one day,
all will be revealed.
Yep. And like I said before, the afterlife could be the biggest conspiracy humanity's ever faced. If there's somebody out there on the other side that knows about it and are trying to, making a rule or whatever for spirits not to contact us, that's a conspiracy right there to keep it from humanity.
A ghost conspiracy.
A ghost conspiracy. Am I wrong? No, I like it.
There's no way to prove it.
I mean, reaching.
People spend years of their life with electromagnetic detectors or whatever, running around trying to figure that out.
Because there's a whole subculture for this ghost thing here. There's people that I mean, you've got TV shows, you've got movies, you've got people that buy.
Some of them don't even want any of that. They just want to personally see a ghost, and they go out and sneak around on their own, not caring anything else about it, but they need to find a ghost for their own.
Some people have that hankering, like they just I have to see a ghost.
This is a great seg. So the next part I want to talk about was ways to communicate with the dead. So like your seances, your mediums, your Ouija boards. What do you guys know about that kind of stuff?
Oh man, that's all bad.
What do I know about it?
Yeah, I mean,
I played with a Ouija board twice.
Played with a Ouija board.
I know this. I don't delve into the dark arts lightly.
I'm pretty sure you were. I'm pretty sure you were pulling though when we were.
Yeah, I remember like where we had access to one.
Yeah, it was at Corey's. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure you were pulling.
Hey, if you cheat the Ouija consciously, you lose. Yeah, it don't work.
That's him. That's what he did.
I don't know. I may have. I'd like to think I wouldn't have, but I don't know. I was a kid.
Well, I mean, here's what it is. I just hovered.
I guess between the episode, we're gonna have to see if we can find us a Ouija board. Maybe we'll do a live Ouija board.
A live Ouija reading?
Yeah, during part 2.
Oh man!
Anybody listening that knows us, get a hold of us between the episode here and provide us with a Ouija board. Maybe we'll make up a Ouija board.
I think I got an angle on a Ouija.
I know. We'll try to figure that out.
I know a guy who knows a guy.
So
got a good deal on one.
How do you feel about mediums? The people who
man, that show Long Island Medium is terrible.
I've never seen it.
Oh man, it's this she's from New Jersey or Long Island or something. She's this crazy lady and she's got big poofy hair and she talks funny and weird and she She's
Helps
a medium, and
people,
she helps people.
Move on.
There you go.
You know,
Helps them move on. Helps. They're seeing their ghost, their relative, their loved one. She communicates to them. Oh, your husband still loves you. He's sorry for what he did, and you know.
Isn't
blah,
that
blah.
strange? You never find somebody who's resentful in death.
Right.
You know?
Generally, your mediums and your psychics, you can almost look at them like, your Miss Cleos. They're fabulous,
Bullshit.
right? Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
but
No,
You never know.
some of them, they've just got too much information. How'd they know that?
Like I say with
You've
everything,
seen that 1,000 times.
Read between the lines.
Even if it's 1 out of 10,000 cases that might be true, you know what I mean? You don't know. We don't know enough about the next plane or even this plane to say that there's not some other way to be tuned in with something.
Hey, when somebody hears voices in their head, you always heard about, oh, he was crazy. He heard voices. Maybe he's getting contacted.
Maybe he's being contacted. That could be.
What about maybe like the psychic connection that like spouses share sometimes? Like whenever you think of, like you're thinking of something and then your spouse will suggest it. I'm sure that's happened to you guys.
Yeah.
Or the classic, they just had
Let's
a
just be on
terrible
the same
feeling.
wavelength, you know.
But if there's such a thing as a wavelength, which seems like something, that exists, why not the wavelength of the ghost wavelength? Your brain can be tuned into different shit.
I think you're getting at the vibrations. Maybe you're on a certain vibrational level, and the ghosts are on a certain vibrational level. And
But my point is this: we don't know about how much our brain or how our brain works. We don't know exactly what existence
oh gosh, no, it's a
is.
mystery.
So, who's going to be the asshole to say it's not happening?
Me.
Not me. It's going to be you.
Yeah, I mean, this ghost is a rough one, man. Ghost.
How could you think that? If you believe that things like time travel or alternate dimensions are possible, how can you discount the possibility that whenever
I'm not discounting ghosts, and I don't want to be that guy. I'm not discounting ghosts.
God, this is weird. We're so backwards.
I know. That's why I told you. I called Everett today, and I said, "Look, man, this is going to be a different show." And he's like, "Well, what do you mean?" I said, "Well, because every other show, I'm the one that's enthusiastic about it, and you're debunking me, and you're trying to shoot down my ideas." I said, "I honestly feel like this ghost episode is going to go the other way because I just cannot get behind the idea of."
It's a weird juxtaposition for sure of roles here.
Yeah, it's. I don't know, man. Ghosts are something. There's something special. I don't know.
I just think there's too much, even anecdotal evidence. People all over the world, probably hundreds of millions of times a year.
There's obviously something to it because it's that big. It's prevalent. It's everywhere. There's got to be something to it. It's just never happened to me.
Ghosts are real in the sense that they're a topic. They are a thing. Ghosts are real.
Oh, yeah. No.
But whether you can find one, touch one, observe one, that's why people spend years of their lives chasing after them, trying to communicate with them.
That's why there's this whole subculture of ghost hunting and all that. You know what I mean? People are into that. People are into the possessions and the what was that movie with Leslie Nielsen? Repossession.
Repossessed.
It's not
Repossessed. That's it.
It's not just that people are into repossessions. They are documented, and then everybody, what do you mean somebody was actually possessed? And that's why they like it, because it actually happened.
The church actually has a lot of, and when I say the church, I mean the Vatican. They have a lot of documentation of actual exorcisms.
Dude, that's
and
a huge deal to them over
yeah,
there.
no, it is. And they actually send people to you to make sure this is a verifiable, documentable case.
Before they'll even send a person out to do the exorcist. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, no.
Perform the exorcism. You could be possessed for weeks and weeks and weeks before they're like, yeah, there might be something going on.
I take my previous stance back on the angels and demons thing, because you're totally right there. When you're talking about like a demonic possession, the church does totally go all out for that. They believe in it, and that's like a big thing for them.
They're the biggest skeptics who actually will try to do something. They don't believe nobody until they've went through their due diligence, and then they'll send somebody out.
You know how they send their due diligence out to see if it's a possession or
if it's
exorcism? Well, they send the same people out to verify the miracles, too, to become into sainthood.
Right,
You know what I mean?
You're talking about like that, what was that movie with the stigmata?
Hillary Swank.
Well, these people that become saints later, I don't know if Mother Teresa's made it or whatever, but
she had to do miracles and stuff.
Is
like
that your ghost is now a saint? So it's like a step below an angel?
You're ratified as a saint after the fact.
So saints don't have any power in the afterlife?
Saint's just like a regular human that did something great.
Who was great, basically.
Okay, well, I assumed that would
who had
mean...
performed miracles, who did good things.
Yeah, I just thought that it would entail them to more powerful afterlife, if you will, be able to.
Well, I mean, hell, St. Peter's, he
people.
guards the gate of heaven. So, I mean, there you go. That goes right with what you're saying. That's a more powerful afterlife. He's got a job, a responsibility.
Maybe not quite an angel because he was once a human, but still higher than your average guy.
Yeah.
Very
than your average ghost.
So I also wanted to. I found out you were talking about people who get consumed by the need to find out about ghosts and whatnot.
Yeah.
The ghost hunters, like there's the ghost hunting shows.
Ghost Hunters International.
So Ed and Lorraine Warren, these people have been doing this shit since the 70s, and they do things about demonology and a lot of other investigations. They go out and do all kinds of stuff all over the country. So all kinds of supernatural phenomena where families think they're haunted.
Is that the couple that just
keyholes that bleed, just paranormal shit?
Is that the couple that just came up murder suicide? There's a ghost hunting couple that was just found murder suicide like 3 weeks or a month ago. Yeah, they're like a big, huge ghost hunting couple. And they were just found apparently murdered.
Well, maybe they finally found out how to become ghosts themselves, so they went for the.
I think they were barking up the wrong tree, and they figured out something they shouldn't have. You know what I mean?
Probably just got demonically possessed.
I found it. This is about a year ago. It was a couple featured on Ghost Adventures, Dead and Apparent Murder Suicide. So there's a show called Ghost Adventurers. Apparently, never saw it. It's one of those weird sci-fi type shows that can't give a lot of things.
But these were the main hosts of that show. Am I right? Or were they just featured?
They usually have teams like 8 guys or so.
Yeah, I think they were just like, guess that episode or whatever.
They could have been. Sometimes they'll come to somebody's house or property.
Right. It's more or less the same thing as like Pimp My Ride or Fix My House. It's just
Hunt Your Ghost.
Cheaters. It's just another one of those shows like Maury Povich where they get people on there, exploit their story, and
then tell them that the DNA test is correct.
Kind of like us. You have a ghost. We get on there, we exploit the story, and move on to next week. I don't know. What else you guys got for part 1? Anything else? Demonic possessions we talked about.
Did we talk about all types of ghosts? Ghost ships? Is that a kind of ghost?
Oh, ghost ships are cool. Ghost ships, they're always finding like ships that are just. I just read about a ship that was like 85 years old that they just found floating, no crew, ghost ship. Still alive
or a ghost crew even.
Hey, you know what? Fair enough. The crew could have been ghosts. We don't know, but it was floating. Everything's fine. Some capsized, 85-year-old. Huge ship, just nobody on board.
They say there's hundreds of those ships out there.
Right.
Just, for whatever reason, they've had to abandon, or maybe they didn't have to abandon, like officially abandoned. Those ships are still out there.
Right.
But ships that, where'd the crew go? Was it pirates? Was it whatever thing? But now the ship's just out there floating. Nobody knows.
Now, follow me here. I think that a person's susceptibility to believing in a ghost has a lot to do with their environment. Now, think about it. If you're on a small yacht, 6-7 man yacht, you're out on the sea, open ocean, and some weird shit starts happening. You are more likely to believe this could be a ghost or an entity than you are if you're in the middle of a rock concert. You know what I'm saying? I think that your surroundings have a lot to do with your...
it's your state of mind.
Right, exactly. So like I'm saying, if you're in the middle of the ocean and, ship starts creaking, you could find that a little more eerie than, what I mean?
That's if you're saying that ghosts are just a figment of your imagination, too. I mean, you're coming from that point of view.
No. This is all thinking that maybe a ghost can feed off of your fear. So maybe you can make the ghost more powerful by being more scared.
Like you can't see until you believe.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a good premise.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Because people,
you know what I mean? Maybe you can't see the ghosts.
Them.
Exactly. The skeptics never find ghosts. But maybe the people that are actually believing in it, that the fear is there.
Hey, they just could tune into that wavelength and then be able to see them.
Right.
Well, similar to that kid again from The Sixth Sense. He could see dead people. Who's to say there's people out there like they have the ability to talk to them, like your spiritual medium's one, not ones that see it.
While we're there, The Sixth Sense, talk about your all-time freaking cliffhanger. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it yet. The guy was dead.
Man, I hate to be that asshole. I saw that coming.
You saw, dude? No, surprise! Like blindsided me.
Wow,
he's dead. I had no clue, dude. I didn't even see that coming. Not
you
one
didn't
bit.
Sherlock Holmes that at all, did you?
No. Fuck, it went right past me, man. That was a great movie about ghosts. I thought that was an excellent ghost movie.
It was pretty good. I got another ghost story actually for whenever we get to part 3 that I want to talk about. My wife was very sure that there was some sort of bad demon or something in our house for the longest time. But we'll talk about that later.
I think it was your dog.
Well, my dog could see it, she thought, and kept her safe from it. So that was the thought.
Is this Annie or Junie?
Annie.
Oh.
My old Rottweiler.
Yeah, she was. I mean, if anybody's going to keep you safe from it, it would have been her.
Well, Junie's pretty cool, too. But anyway, you guys got anything else for part 1? Because we're starting to dawdle again.
Dawdle. I like dabbling.
No, dawdling.
Yeah, but what if we dabble? Can we dabble in some ghost pictures?
We could, but we're not going to.
Okay, fine.
All right, guys. Let's take us out.
All right. What do we got here? Remember, everyone, this is just we're just finishing up part 1.
Right,
we got a lot more to go here.
On the next part, we're going to be talking about famous hauntings, places that are like real haunted, like cities, houses, and whatnot across the world.
My bathroom, I feel like, is haunted sometimes.
Sure.
That's a stench you're getting. That's not
right. But no, like sometimes I'll open the air conditioning vent and I'll know that the air conditioning's on.
But then you see it.
But I just don't feel any air come from that. I mean, I don't know, it fucks with me sometimes. Anyways, find us on Twitter at Surreal Talk Show. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Surreal Talk. You can also find a live recording of every show from here on out on YouTube. Just search for Surreal Talk live stream. You should be able to find us very easily. Also, remember to give us a review on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, Google Play, or whatever your favorite podcast provider is. I think we deserve 5 stars. Maybe not for this first part, maybe 3.5. But if you like a question, reach us directly or whatever. You can email us at info@surrealtalkpodcast.com. And always remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We're big on Facebook this week, so please like us and follow us on Facebook. And thanks for listening to part 1 about ghosts. This has been Surreal Talk, a lineupmedia.fm
See you guys
production.
about a half an hour.
Oh, yeah, maybe 20 minutes. We're not sure.
Be right back.
Depends on if there's any ghosts.
Please wake up.
This has been Surreal Talk, a lineupmedia.fm production. Listen online at surrealtalkpodcast.com and subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and all major podcast outlets. Join the conversation on Facebook and Twitter, and get all of our podcasts now at lineupmedia.fm.
How come I know so much? What the hell is going on around here? Who the hell are you people? I'm mad as hell! I'm not gonna take it anymore! I'm not gonna take it anymore! I'm mad as hell!
This podcast was a presentation of lineupmedia.fm.